It's a number of things that I find troubling about Trump supporters and Republicans as a collective, but their contradictions are so troubling. How is it that people who hate or complain the most about gas prices are opposed to all forms of reusable energy, things that would lower demand on supply and will help lower the price of gas? I don't understand how these people claim they are opposed to a tyrannical government are the same people who publicly back a president who wants immunity so that he is not able to be held accountable for any activities he do while in office. I don't understand how we ignore these large contradictions. But I kind of do. I understand how we ignore these contradictions is because of America's poor education system. Because we have such a poor education system, you have many Americans that believe that the Chinese pay American tariffs. Why do I say that comes from a poor education system? Because anybody with basic common sense will understand that the United States government does not have the ability to tax foreign citizens. See, if a person understood the basics about economics, then they would have to understand that we had to offer the wealthy corporations a large, significant tax cut in order to get them to repatronize American money, because we couldn't even tax money made by American companies overseas until it made it back to America. But yet we tend to believe that Trump tariffs are paid by Chinese companies. These things are so, I don't know, it's difficult to even grasp how we can't understand these basic things and how we're not really looking at the rise of Trump and the ignorance that Trump is able to promote as a means to reevaluate our poor education system. Now, only a portion of Trump's support comes from a lack of education, and that is within the black community. The remaining portion and the large significant portion of Trump's support is based off of hate for black Americans and is based off of white people fear of the burning of America, so they will prefer to dispose of democracy and get a white dictator. That is a large percentage of the Trump appeal. And this is something that the media is not really saying and exposing to the full potential. See, America would never have or never be great because America could not have a reckoning about race. And because America fails to have this a reckoning about race, The elites are able to manipulate the masses to constantly have us fighting against each other and denying policies that would benefit the collective. And one of those examples is universal health care. We have to be honest, white people are opposed to universal health care in America because most white people are opposed to black people receiving that same universal health care, and that's even at their own expense. And it's crazy because we have many other countries, industrialized countries with universal health care, and we can see the benefits in their system versus our system, such as Canada, England, Germany, and all these countries with universal health care have a longer life expectancy than African Americans, than Americans. I mean, period. Have a longer life expectancy than Americans. They spend less on their GDP per person than Americans do. So even with these prime examples, white people will prefer to have their health insurance attached to their jobs, but at the same time, they have fear of they losing their job or their job leaving the country. We have to understand that a large portion of the Republican voting base is a base that votes not in their own interest, but in a interest to prevent you from having anything, black people. We have to understand the same people who talk this freedom of speech and all these things are the people who are consistently getting books banned from schools and libraries. I'm just saying, how do we not see the contradictions? That's all I'm saying. How do we not see these mass contradictions, and how do we not see the rise in the ignorance that Trump is spewing as a means to reevaluate the entire education system in America? I hear so many people say, oh, Kamala gave the Haitians $50,000. Another example of our poor education system, because anybody that understands basic civics understand that Congress controls the purse string. So you have to show us the bill that was passed that provided the funding for the Haitian immigrants to get $50,000, which they can't do. Or you would have to show the executive order, but you definitely could not show the executive order Kamala Harris did because of the fact that Kamala Harris is not the president and the vice president cannot issue executive orders. But because we do not understand or know how civics work, because they took it out the school system, we spew or repeat this ignorance that we see on the media. And black people who have been misled and know that we have been miseducated throughout our history in America since the Europeans arrived should not take what these Europeans say at face value in no way. That's either party. You should always go and do your own research. And it's hilarious, so many of these so-called Trump supporters say they think for themselves and have no idea of any of the things that they are so strongly promoting or pushing for. Yeah, it's